What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Sheehan Show here on Sherdog.com, and I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Fabian Edwards today before his big fight at Bellator Belfast against Aaron Jeffery. Fabian, where are you going? I have to first thing to ask you, where are you going in the car right now?
Mate, I've just finished boxing. You know, I need to go pick my car up because my car has been in the garage. So I'm having to do my interviews in the back of the taxi, you know what I mean? So I apologize for everyone for that, but it just, I'm just on the go, you know?
That's all right, that's no problem. When you talk about on the go, you know, you've had a lot of fights in Ireland now, and another one in Ireland. How good is it to be going back to Ireland and fighting there again?
I'm excited, you know. I felt like last time I was in Ireland, obviously I never got the result that I wanted, but the fans and the love that I got from the Irish crowd, like I say, I love that. So I'm happy that Bellator's brought me back to Ireland.
What's the call on Aaron Jeffery? Obviously, he's a very good fighter and you know, well-rounded, can fight in a lot of different ways, I suppose. What's the thoughts on him coming into this one?
The thoughts are just another guy, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to, the more and more I go on my career, I'm trying to focus a lot on what I need to do. You know what I mean? Obviously, we're focusing like a bit on what the opponent does, but I'm trying to double down and really develop my own skills, you know? So, yeah, that's it.
Is there anything unique he brings?
Huh?
Is there anything unique he brings that like you haven't seen from anyone before?
Oh, no. He's just a guy, he's going to come forward, you know what I mean? Come forward, relies on his toughness, box, clinch, like just normal stuff, you know? So there's nothing that I'm looking at that I'm like, whoa, I haven't seen that before. You know, he's not going to just come and throw spinning shit, you know what I mean? He's going to come and just throw hands. I've seen it all before, you know?
What way do you think the Irish crowd will react? Because usually they do get behind you. You expected a kind of a big hometown reaction maybe here.
Yeah. I feel like I get the same reaction again, you know, and this time around I'll make sure that I get my hand raised and, you know, I try and push and try to get a nice finish for the Irish crowd. So yeah, I can't wait. It's only around the corner from me. It's only like a 30-40 minute flight. So yeah, I can't wait to come over.
You mentioned obviously the last time the Eblen fight. How do you reflect on that? What are your takeaways, I suppose, from that fight? Because like it was obviously a close fight up until what happened at the end. Like, and I suppose you can take a lot away from it. What did you personally take away from it?
I just took away from it that I can beat him. You know what I mean? Like honestly, I took away. I thought I can beat that guy. You know what I mean? And even like I saw his last fight, like last week it was or whatever. And that even confirmed to me even more. You know, I feel like skill for skill, I can beat him. I made a mistake. It wasn't like he was slicker than me. I just got caught out of position with a shot and he followed up, you know. And the fight was close. I feel like if I was to touch that cut a bit more, I would have won that fight. But it's MMA for you, eh?
Well, you know, his reaction after that fight, I was there backstage when he was doing interviews, and you know, I think someone told him that he had lost a round or maybe 2 rounds, and he really didn't know how to react to it. To be honest, he was like, he couldn't believe it. And then I think the same thing kind of happened after the fight last week. Do you think he thinks he's unbeatable, and he's not as unbeatable maybe as he thinks?
Yeah, I feel like obviously my fight kind of confirmed that, and then the last fight confirmed it even more as well. You know what I mean? So as the time's going on, is a lot of holes are starting to show, and if he doesn't develop, which I don't think he will, honestly, I feel like in his own head he thinks he's better than what he is, and he doesn't need to improve. You know, and that's going to be his downfall. And I feel like I'm going to be the man to do that.
Do you think he's not sticking to his game plan enough? It feels like he's in love with the striking and striking more than maybe he should in fights. Like if you're to look at him and break him down a little bit, do you think that's an issue with him?
I think that's the issue, but I feel like also his wrestling stayed the same. You know what I mean? I feel like it stayed the same. When I wrestled with him in the fight, it was the same that I saw from his previous fights. When he wrestled with Impact, it was the same that I saw from my fight. So he's obviously hasn't improved in that area. That is his go-to, but if he wasn't physical and never had a good gas tank on him, he wouldn't be where he's at. But like I said, credit, I have to tip my hat to him, and you know, he fights on even when he gets hurt, and fair play to him. But I look forward to that rematch.
With this fight against Aaron Jeffery, do you think the rematch will be straight away after this? Are you expecting a rematch in the summer if you beat Aaron Jeffery?
Yeah, no doubt. You know, like Eblen was calling for Aaron Jeffery. You know, he was asking for Aaron Jeffery, so it's only right that if he's calling for Aaron and then I go out there and I do what I know I can do and beat Aaron, it's only right that I get the title shot. You know.
There's talks of maybe coming back to Ireland again in the summer. Would you like to get that in Dublin maybe if it was possible?
Yeah, it seems like Dublin's gonna be my second home. You know what I mean? So if that's the talks, then count me in.
What's the aura like at the gym at the moment? Because obviously, you know, you've Leon, but you know, Tom Breeze has been back fighting. There seems to be a really good aura at the gym. What's it like at the moment there?
It's just, like I say, it's just like a good energy. You know, like anyone that came down in the gym, they've always said the same. It's good energy down there. You guys got good energy. We got Christian, Leroy Duncan as well. Obviously, he just had a massive win on the weekend. He's been coming down here as well. And just a lot of guys. You know, when you got a lot of guys that's all hunting for the same thing, and there's no jealousy, and everyone's just trying their best to help each other and share knowledge. That's a recipe for success, and I feel like that's what we got going on in Renegade.
How good is it to have a guy like Christian Leroy Duncan? Obviously the same weight class as you, but obviously in a different promotion. I know he had a couple of setbacks, but like I obviously watched him since his young days as well. He's just a phenomenal fighter, isn't he? How good is he?
He's good, man. He really is good, and like we formed a good relationship. You know, I've helped him in areas, and like just to have a guy that give you a look like that. He's even after his fight, he's coming back down this week to help me finish off my camp. He's only just fought as well, you know what I mean? So, like I said, to have a guy physical attribute and his style and his range and his different looks that he gives you, you can't beat that, you know.
What's the story with the coaching in the gym at the moment? Because when it started off, it felt like Tom Breeze was the one in charge, but like it was all kind of fighters being fighters, and now Tom Breeze has kind of come back and taken up that role again with Dave Lavelle. What way does it work? Is there a head coach, or what way does it work in the gym?
You know what? It's just a team effort. It's a team effort. So, and by that I mean, figure out what's the best way to fight, who we need to fight, you know, and that's it. Like Tom Breeze will be in my corner for Belfast. You can't beat someone like Breeze in terms of the experience that it brings with the grappling and overall MMA. So yeah, it's just like I say, everyone just sits down. Dave will be there, and we'll all try to formulate a plan that's going to be the best to beat the person.
How far out is that plan formulated? Like, is that something you do at the start of camp? Is that something you do kind of all through camp or at the end of camp? When is that done?
To be honest, it's all through the camp. Because it'd be sometimes like, oh, okay, that's not working. Let's take that out. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this will work instead. So the more we see, and what's gotten better as well is I used to always try to be fit and sharp and ready in like the first week of training. You know what I mean? But the older I've got, the more I got to understood that it's a training camp. You know what I mean? That's you're meant to like each week just get better. Each week work on certain things, tweak certain things, and that's what we've been doing for this last like 4 camps now.
Obviously, a big question around the aura of the camp, Ken, when Ian Garry visited a while back and was unceremoniously dumped out of it. What was your take on that thing? Did you do any bit of sparring with Ian, or what was your take on him, I suppose, being leaving the gym, for want of a better phrase?
Yeah, like, you know, like once he came down, we sparred, you know, we sparred together. He even credited me in one of his fights about like certain kicks and stuff. And at first he was all right, but after a while, like just a few guys just didn't like his antics, you know what I mean? But as far as it goes, it is what it is, you know what I mean? I don't really like to touch on the subject too much. It's just one of those ones, you know?
Is it something that like can work? Because like Leon is the champion and Ian is probably 1 or 2 fights away from fighting the champion. That can't work anyway. It was always a recipe for disaster, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course. And plus as well, it's not like he's coming in to be a part of the team, you know? He's just coming in to use. You can't have a guy that's could potentially fight my brother, come in and just use the team and then just leave. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So, like I say, it was a recipe for disaster, and obviously it ended up that way.
Speaking of disasters, what did you think of the whole Colby Covington thing? Obviously, you know, he spoke about your father as well as Leon's father, and it was, you know,
Yeah.
I think everyone agree one of the most disgusting things we've heard in a long time. What was your take on that? You must have been absolutely riled up as well.
Yeah, like I've said to everyone, if it's a good thing that I wasn't there. You know what I mean? It's a good thing that my visa never came back in time, because that fight probably wouldn't been that fight probably wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? Because obviously fair play for brother controlling himself, but I wasn't the one fighting, so I probably wouldn't have controlled myself. You know what I mean? And like, he's a scumbag, innit? He's a scumbag. He's always proved that, and yeah.
Oh, like, were you speaking to Leon around then? It must have been so hard to control himself. Like, when you're going in to fight someone, you have an opportunity to punch him in the face, but to like draw that back and fight your actual game rather than getting involved in it, that must have been such a hard thing to do.
Yeah, but that's Leon's character. You know what I mean? He's a champion, so I didn't expect for him to go out there and fight any other way. You know, he went out there, he stayed focused. He knew that's what a scumbag like him had to do, to try and pull him out his game, and he made sure he stuck to the game plan. And yeah, it was an easy fight for him.
Last couple of things, Leon. I appreciate the time, or Fabian even. I knew I'd do that at some stage. Bellator, the last time we spoke at 299, there was like a lot of talk about the takeover and PFL Bellator and all. Do you feel like you're fixed in Bellator now, or is there ever a chance you think you could move over to PFL, get involved in the tournament?
You know what? Once I get the belt, you know, cause I've always said that's been my goal. You know what I mean? I've always said once I've joined Bellator, I need to get that world belt. You know what I mean? So whether it's gonna be a fight, like whether it can be after this fight, or I'm gonna have to fight someone else and then get it, I need to get the belt first before I join any tournaments or any other promotions or anything, and then yeah, that's it.
Last thing, Fabian, can I get a prediction for Belfast? I know a lot of people are really looking forward to this fight. What way do you think it's gonna go?
I'm gonna slick him up, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be Slick Rick in there. Honestly, if I'm gonna go in there and just be Slick Rick and just control the fight and just fight how I want to fight, you know what I mean? And yeah, like, I'm excited. I'm not even, you know, like, there's a few months after my last fight, I was just like, I want to go in there and just, you know what I mean? Just want to go in there and just have a tear up. And I was like, you know what? Nah, man, I want to go in there and just show that I've leveled up, you know what I mean? And show that I've matured, and I feel like with this fight, I'm gonna really show that.
I said last thing, but quickly last thing. Like, often it's said about you need to pull the trigger a little bit more, and you know you have all the skills. Is that a thing you kind of roll back on again, that you don't? You need to just pick the shot and get the right shot rather than going for it.
Yeah, because you know what? I've said this to the guys in the gym. Anyone can go in there and just have a rage and just be like, I'm just gonna throw my hands and just like, you know what I mean? It's just like a meathead. Anyone can do that. To go into a fight when someone's throwing 100% shot at your head, and for you to move out of the way and be calm and pick your shots, that's what showed to me personally a skilled fighter. You know what I mean? I get it for the fans. They want to see someone go in there and have like a barn burner or whatever type of fight, but that's not really me. You know what I mean? I want to go in there, I want to slick him up, I want to catch him coming in, I want to open him up with some elbows, and I want to finish him in a technical way, you know?
Fabian, best of luck. Bellator 302 even, coming from Belfast next week. Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you, brother.